Hey everyone, welcome to a new review, and this review is for the movie Danny Collins. Yes, Al Pacino is back in a movie, and is it a good movie? Well, let's find out. This movie Danny Collins is based on a true story, and Al Pacino plays the leading role of Danny Collins. And Danny Collins is an aging rock star. He's a singer and he's a songwriter. And basically in this movie, he's basically a sellout. He's a washed up guy, he's getting older, and he has nothing, basically. And one day his manager finds a letter that was written by John Lennon, and when he reads this letter, Danny Collins figures out maybe he should get his life back on track because he finds that he's missing something. So basically he embarks on a journey to get his family back and basically find his true love. Because he actually wants to do something with his life because basically he's become like a Hollywood sellout. And yeah, and Al Pacino plays the role, and basically he actually has a great cast. This movie stars Al Pacino, Annette Bening, Michael Caine, Bobby Cannavale, Jennifer Garner, and Christopher Plummer. All great actors, and all of them in this movie are actually really good. Honestly, this movie, Danny Collins, I actually saw this movie, I just got back from seeing it now, actually. I saw The Longest Ride. I fucking hated it. Then I went to go see Danny Collins. I actually did not even watch the trailers for this movie. This movie just came this week to my theaters around here, and I'm like, maybe this might be good. It's got Al Pacino. He hasn't done anything good lately, but like, maybe this will be a good movie. And I saw it. I liked it. I thought this was a good movie. It wasn't a great movie. It's not like an Oscar-worthy movie, but I liked this movie. I thought it was really good. I liked the story. I liked the story about music, and I love the story about this character. This really weird, this really washed up, kind of likable, kind of unlikable sort of character. And yeah, I liked Al Pacino in this movie. I loved him playing this character, and Pacino was great. He was very, very, very good in this movie. He was the best actor in this movie. The whole cast was good. Like, I liked Christopher Plummer and Annette Bening in this movie. And Bobby Cannavale and Jennifer Garner was good in too. But Pacino made this movie. His performance is very stirring, very compelling, and I really liked him in this movie. And I was so glad to see him actually do something with his career now. Like, Pacino, you haven't done anything good lately. Like, the last few movies I've seen you do was like Righteous Kill and fucking Jack and Jill. But now he's actually trying to show his chops again. I liked him. I liked him in this movie. There was some issues I had with this movie. Some of the issues I had with this movie was I found this movie a tad manipulative. Yeah, I just saw a movie that was written by Nicholas Sparks, the king at manipulating women with his books and his movies. But I didn't find The Longest Ride as much as I hated that movie. It was a stupid movie. It wasn't a manipulative movie. This movie, at times, the whole movie wasn't, but at times I felt this movie was trying to be manipulative with its music, because the music in this movie is freaking awesome. All the songs in this movie are the songs I loved. Like, my dad was always into classic rock and classic music, and he showed me all these songs, and I love these bands, singers. I love the songs. The soundtrack to this movie is fantastic, but I felt like this movie was trying to manipulate people with these songs, trying to make you feel emotion for these characters in this story, just because these songs are playing. I felt that was a little manipulative, and I didn't like that. I'm like, this movie's good. Don't try to manipulate your audience with the music. I love the music. You can put the music in it, but don't try to manipulate your audience with the music and try to make us feel emotions. Do emotions with the performances and the good writing and the good directing and the good storytelling. That's how you show emotion and make us feel something. You don't do it with your songs, unless the songs are trying to create atmosphere. But usually, not all the time, songs do that. A good score could maybe do that, but songs could too. Just gotta know how to use it. Don't manipulate the people. Make the people feel what they want to feel. Don't always manipulate with the music. But yeah, that was one problem I had with this movie. Another problem I had with this movie, I found this movie a tad predictable at times. Just in the first two acts. I found the first two acts of this movie very predictable. I knew exactly where the story was going, and I'm like, I'm still interested. Like, I'm interested in these characters, and these performances are really good. I just knew exactly where it was going. But then that changed in the ending. I actually did not see that ending coming. I won't spoil the ending, but I'm like, oh, I didn't really see that coming. That was kind of cool. It wasn't like, oh, mind-blowing, what a good twist. It's nothing like that. I just don't expect like a old-school Shyamalan movie. It's not The Sixth Sense or anything, but it was good. I liked the ending. The ending was good. The first two acts were still good, just the first two acts were a little predictable, and at times it gets a little goofy. Sometimes some characters get a little silly, and some things play out a little silly. I was like, oh, that's just weird. Like, this movie's supposed to be based on a true story, trying to put some realism in it. Sometimes it didn't feel realistic, because, again, when a movie's based on a true story, it doesn't mean everything in this movie is true. Just most of the characters and the story's true, but they obviously like change certain things and change outcomes and stuff, because that's what movies do to make it more dramatic, put a little more flair and make it more romanticized. But at times it was a little noticeable. I'm like, there's no way that happened. But yeah, that was a little distracting. Some parts were a little silly. But in general, I liked this movie. The performances were all really strong. Pacino was fantastic. I liked seeing Christopher Plummer do some good roles too. Same with Annette Bening, Jennifer Garner, Bobby Cannavale, all of them. They were all great in this movie. And yeah, I liked the story. It was a decent story. I was interested. The characters were good. The music was great. When it wasn't being manipulative, it was still very good to see. I liked the ending, and I liked this movie. In general, this movie was very, very good. I was satisfied, especially when I went to go see The Longest Ride before. I'm like, oh my god, please give me a good movie. God, because that movie sucked. I went to this movie. I liked it. It wasn't too long, wasn't too short. It had a very good length, a good pace. It was decently directed, decently written too. Got good music, good acting. That's good enough for me. It's not perfect, it's not an Oscar-worthy movie, but it was good enough. I like this movie. I would definitely see it again, maybe not in theaters, but if it came out, maybe if it was a cheap Blu-ray, sure, I'd probably buy it, but yeah. All in all, I like this movie. Danny Collins, I would definitely recommend. Scale 1 to 10, I give this movie a 7.6 out of 10. It's a good movie, check it out, especially if you're an Al Pacino fan. Hoorah! So in the comment section below, tell me, what is your favorite Al Pacino movie? Yeah, my favorite, I know, I'm going to go a little cliched, but I love The Godfather. The Godfather is my favorite. But if I didn't go with The Godfather, Scent of a Woman. Scent of a Woman's my favorite too. So yeah, comment below, favorite Al Pacino movie. Comment below, let me know. I'm curious to know. And if you like this video, please like and subscribe to this channel and join the dark side.